Hi, so this quick video on how to use a protractor. So I've just got my protractor here. Just a few things I want you to note. So the first thing I want you to note is this middle bit here. This is a special point that we're going to be using to be able to read our angles. The next thing you'll notice is that there's two rows of numbers. So the outside scale along here and then the inside scale. And the hardest bit is to know when to use which scale. So when to use the outside, when to use the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first thing, which is trying to line up this middle bit here that I talked about earlier and lining it with the corner. I'm going to do that first. Now what you'll also notice is that I'm trying to make sure that this line is lined up as well. So to the best of your ability, line them up so that this corner is filled and it's on a straight line. The next thing I'm going to do is actually read it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across. Now I'm going to see the 0. So if you're reading the line here, we're starting with 0 and we're going to read this inside scale, not the outside, the inside. So I'm going to go up to this point, that's my line. In this case, it is exactly 70 degrees. So I'm going to write 70 degrees right here. Now let's have a go at another one. Here's another one. So this is what we call a reflex angle. So not reflex, obtuse. Sorry, it's bigger than 90, less than 180. This first one was acute. So this one here, the same thing. We're gonna try and line up our points of this middle bit with this edge and line up straight. So you can see I'm not actually using the base of my protractor, I'm actually using this point. So now that's lined up, we're gonna look for 0. So here, we can see 0 is here. We're going to use the outside scale. So I'm going to go on the outside. I'm going to use the outside scale and I'm going to go to where the point is. So you can see it's just about here. So when I'm reading it, I'm going to try and make sure that it's lined up nice and neat. So in this case, it's going to be more than 90. So look, remember the outside scale. So there's 100, 110, 120, and we're going to count the digits. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So there's 123. Our last one here is a bit harder. This is a reflex angle. So you can see it's bigger. And we're trying to measure this angle here. Now the way we're going to do that is we're going to find out what this angle is. This one here. And we're going to take it away from a revolution of 360. So 360 is the whole revolution. We're only going to try to find this and then take it away. So I'm going to, again, use my protractor, find this middle spot here. I'm going to line it up with my angle. So now I'm looking at my baseline. My baseline's here, so I'm going to start here where it's 0. So that's my inside scale, and I'm going to read across. So we're going to go around, and you can see here it's a bit hard. So if you need to, try to extend your line so it's easier for you to read. So sometimes you need to extend the line because it won't be long enough. So reading it now, we can see it is 50. Now, the answer is not 50 because remember, we are looking at the inside scale. The inside scale actually tells us is 130. And you can see that because it's bigger than 90 degrees. So it's definitely going to be 130 degrees. Now, because that's this angle, we're trying to find whatever's left over. So the outside is 360. Take away 130. That's equal to 230 degrees. So that means that this outside bit, so we didn't actually measure this, but we know that the whole thing's 360, this is 130, so whatever's left over is going to be 230.